Hi everyone, welcome to Mr. Gard's Maths Classroom. Today we're going to be looking at simplifying ratios. So I have written above that simplified ratios don't contain fractions or decimals. Now this is an important rule that we need to remember. So whenever we're writing out a ratio, we need to make sure that it doesn't contain fractions and it doesn't contain decimals. So we like to use whole numbers or integers. Now, in the case on the green square, a ratio can be simplified by dividing both numbers by a factor. Now, ideally, you would find the highest common factor of the two numbers, although you don't need that in order to solve the problem. So in this case, we're going to have a look at simplifying the ratio 450 parts to 200 parts. Now, it doesn't matter what you divide them by, provided the number is a factor of both. So I can look straight away and see that both numbers have a factor of 10. So I'm going to divide both the left hand and the right hand side by 10. I'm then going to get 45 on the left and 20 on the right. Again, I can see that I can simplify both of these by dividing both the left and the right by the number 5, and I get a 9 parts to 4 parts. Now there are no more common factors of the number 9 and the number 4, so my simplified ratio is 9 parts to 4 parts. And that is my answer for that one. If I look over to the right, this one becomes slightly more complicated. For me, my first part that I would try and sort would be to turn these mixed numbers that we have here, mixed number being a whole number with a fraction, into an improper fraction. So these become, as you will remember, 7/3 to 5/4 or 5/4. Now, that's our first part. What we now need to do, because these are not easy to compare, we need to get the denominator or the bottom line to be equal numbers. And you'll see why in a second. So, sorry. Let's redo that. So, on the right hand side, a common multiple of the number 3 and the number 4 is going to be 12. Now, in order to get the bottom number here to become a 12, we need to multiply it by 3. So we're actually going to times it by 3/3, which is 1. And that way, as you'll remember from doing your fractions, we get 15/12. On the other side, we need to multiply it by 4/4. And in this case, we get 28/12 in a ratio to 15/12. Now, because we're comparing 12ths and 12ths, and on one side we have 28 of them, and on the other side we have 15 of them. That there is our simplified ratio from going from 2 1/3 and 1 1/4 into 28/15. Remembering that we need these to be in whole numbers and not include decimals or fractions. If, and I'll give you one more example, if you were going to compare time, so let's say we had 25 minutes in a ratio to 2 hours, what is important is that we convert both sides of the ratio into the same unit. So whether 25 minutes becomes a part of hours, or whether we, in this case, would be easier to convert both sides to minutes. It's 25 minutes to 120 minutes. To simplify, we can divide both sides by 5, as 5 will go into 25 and 120. Get 5 minutes in a ratio of 24 minutes. So it is simply a ratio of 5 to 24. Simple as that. Alright, until next time, goodbye.